Hello, good afternoon and welcome. I'm your host, Priscilla Gendron, and welcome to the Grand Awakening series, where we're taking you all through the changes that we are experiencing now. And this will be the ability for us to learn some of the tools that we need to navigate them. So welcome to Maddie Gomes again, and she's going to be taking us through the next step in the awakening. So welcome, Maddie.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. It's such an honor to be here and to do the series with you, as I believe a lot of people are experiencing a grand awakening at the moment where life is totally changing. The old life is falling away as they know it. And where do we go from here?
Exactly. And it's an important part for us, and it's an important journey for us to be on now. And it's kind of like last week we spoke about the grand awakening and the dark, night of our souls kind of thing. And so we kind of like gave people homework about what to do and how to process things to the next episode kind of thing. So in this episode, we're going to be really navigating and getting the tools we need to the next step of where we need to go. So should we just jump right in?
Yes. So we looked at the dark night of the soul. When we go into the dark night of the soul, it is who am I? You sort of lose who you were. You know that you're not the same person anymore, but you left in the dark because you think, but who am I from here on? Where do I go from here? I'm not the same person, but I don't know this person that I am now. So you're seeking, and you're seeking answers, you're seeking purpose, you want a more meaningful life. So I wrote something that I'm going to read to us in my book that's coming out. And it came up to me, and it's so beautiful to look at it this way. So I look at it and let's find the beauty in our brokenness and dark places and mend the pieces with wisdom and faith. Allow yourself to be taken on a journey of the deepest self-discovery to discover your truth, heal your body, and set you free from all the shackles that prevented you from living a purposeful life. So together we will lift each other higher and step into our greatness, reconnecting with the purpose on earth, stepping into the lead of human transformation, helping humanity to heal and transform. Because if we heal ourselves and we transform, we ignite that fire in somebody else that we meet and that's in the same space. So it has a ripple effect. Everything is energy. So we have a ripple effect on everybody around us. So if we're positive, we're actually spreading the positivity. If we're negative, we're spreading the fear and the negativity. So our aim is to find the switch to our inner light and illuminate any darkness that prevents us from living life fully as we want it to be.
Exactly. And it's so important because there's so many changes going on, and we've been almost thrown into the deep end. And it's like sink or swim. And if you don't have your little armbands and you don't know how to swim, you don't know how to navigate through all of this because it's all new to a lot of people.
Yeah. To all of us. So what I say is we cannot enter the new world with an old mindset.
Yes.
We need to become a new personality. The dark night of the soul is the dying of the old self and the rebirthing of the new person, the new personality that's more purpose aligned. You want more meaning in life. You want to feel that you add value to others, and your values basically change. So your personality is changing. But in order to give birth to that, we have to let go of the past. We have to heal the past. We have to let go of the people who we keep in our hearts in the resentment, hatred, unforgiveness, and they need to go so that we can be an open vessel for the new earth and the new life. Otherwise, we're going to keep on being pulled back into the past.
Exactly. And I think that we've all been through, as you say, the dark night of our souls. And this grand awakening that's been happening for all of us has really just pushed everybody's boundaries, or actually destroyed the boundaries in a sense, because now there's no putting the genie back in the bottle again. It's like that's it, the bottle's smashed.
Yeah, you the
And it's
genie
about
now.
picking up the pieces. Yeah, you're the genie now, and you've got to, like, number one, pick up the pieces and recreate it, or move to a new bottle, or move to a new way of being, or be free in a sense, because then the genie's free. So it's like you've destroyed that bottle. There's no more putting it back there, so you can't go back to the past. And even if you did try, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't be the same. It's like a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to fit.
Yeah, because you only pick up the pieces that you want them to be part of your future now. Not all the pieces do you want back. So the other pieces you leave behind, and you take the ones that you gain wisdom from, and you move forward with only those ones, because then they serve you.
Exactly. And I think that's important for us to know. So what is the kind of like flags that we could look for, in a sense of okay, what's going to be good for me? What processes do I need to put into place? Because we're going on to the next step now. We've recognized that we've got this grand awakening. We've recognized that we've gone through all of this. But now how do we go to the next step? So what flags do we look for? What sort of tools do we need to go forward with this?
Okay, so I'm just going to quote for a moment the Bible, because that's my workbook. So in 2 Corinthians, it's talking about the Greek word kainos. And kainos means renew. So the earth is busy renewing, and we are busy renewing. It's such a beautiful story. And it tells you exactly how it works and what to do. So in kainos, in 2 Corinthians, it talks about the renewal of your life. But you have to totally renew. In other words, it's the renewal of the mind. Because what rules our life is the mind and the heart. The mind creates our reality. The heart manifests it because it's emotions. Therefore, you need to watch out for those two vessels. You have to let go of self-doubt, of fear, of negativity, of negative self-talk to yourself, of criticizing others, of anything that's a lower vibration on the chakra chart, where you go into criticism, victimhood, negativity, negative company, where they just talk about the horrors of the world. We all know what's happening at the moment. We do talk about it, but you don't want to dwell on it, and you don't want to take that in you, because you are creating a new world in you so that you can actually change your circumstances, because it starts within you, not outside. So if we get that concept right, that we are creating the world within us, therefore we need to renew ourselves. So we need to watch what's coming up on our imagination screen, which is our biggest gift from God, is the TV screen in your mind, because everything starts there, where we can't see it. And what we see on the TV screen in the imagination is what we create. So if we just see darkness, and we just see, oh, there's another pandemic coming, and there's fear, and there's this, and we just keep on buying into that, that is going to become your reality. You're going to feel heavy. You're going to feel dark. You're going to feel like you're going to have a moment of fear. I had a moment of fear last night when I looked at TikTok, and, and I love TikTok because they're fact-finding, they're good inspectors, they come up with material and documents that nobody else would even find, and they are beautiful in bringing the truth out. But you have to be discerning, because if there's 10 and 15 videos keep on going on the darkness, eventually I looked at it and I thought, God, no, how are we going to survive? For a moment, I had that feeling of despair. And then I thought, what are you doing to yourself? You just worked on yourself not to go there, and there I went again. Then you have to switch off, and you have to say, I don't want to know this. This is not my life now. It's not like I'm ignoring it, and it's not like I don't want to know what's going on, the truth, but I don't want to create this reality for myself. So I will deal with whatever comes my way when it comes my way. So I'm not going to create it now. I am going to keep my vibration up. I'm going to stay positive, because in the meantime, I have to create a life for myself, and it cannot be on that basis. You see, so we are getting bombarded at the moment in the media with negativity and fear because they are planning something. So they create the anticipation, which works on the mind.
Slowly.
So when everybody goes into fear, then they're weak. And then they go for you. Because that's nature. When you are weak in nature, you get taken out. So don't go there. Don't go there. The only way you don't go there is know yourself. So kainos is about, who am I? You need to know who you are. You need to realize your values again. What are my strengths? What are my skills? What do I love to do? Let me create my life according to that, so that I wake up in the mornings and I'm looking forward to my day. And then it starts to flow. It's like a puzzle, and people just, they flow towards you because they want that positivity that you now have, and they need their change. So you start to become the light. And I feel once our inner light is switched on, we pass it on to each other, and we help each other on the path of enlightenment.
That's the most important thing, is that we find a path. You know, there's that age-old expression, find your gifts and do it on purpose. You know, find your passion, and do everything that you want to do on purpose. Do it because you want to do it, because it's going to, you know, I was chatting to somebody earlier on about it, and they wanting to change their lives, but they've got this fear and self-doubt and self-worth. And as you were talking about it, I thought, oh, this is appropriate for this person to listen to today, because it's about empowering ourselves. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones and just embracing who we are as a person.
Yes. And we don't even have a comfort zone anymore, because if you are in a space where you feel, I don't belong here, then you're out of your comfort zone. Then you have to create a new life yourself, because now you're in between the gap of yesterday and tomorrow. And this is where depression and anxiety breeds, because you cannot see the future. That, you know, the past is gone, but you keep on looking back, and you're creating the past in your every moment of your future. No, let go.
Yeah, it's about, I just got the title, Spiritually Homeless.
Yes, that's so beautifully put. And you know, when I wrote my book now, what came up, and I actually put it in the book, it is the time when we, you know, I'm a metaphysician, so I see spirituality and the Bible in a way different. I see it, you live it. You don't just preach it and have rules, that's not on, but it's a living book within us. Each one of us at the moment on this earth is playing a role in the Bible, because it's a repeated cycle. So, and I see it, why don't you just take your cross and lay it down on the ground in front of Jesus with all your burdens on them, all the past hurts, all the disappointments, all the trauma, or the way you've been brought up, your self-worth that's in the drain. Why don't you just put your cross down with all of that on the cross, and you just say, guide me to my future. I'm ready. I'm an open vessel. I leave all of this right here, and take a step forward and say, I surrender. That's what I did, and it worked for me. I surrender with my whole heart. I surrender. Show me how, and show me what I need to do, because God is within each one of us. And I got guided divinely. I mean, I look at my last couple of months, which was really difficult, because I was fighting it as well, and try and make my mind, try and figure it out in my mind, and try and make it my own way, like I did in the past, and it didn't work out. And that's why I'm so sincere and passionate about this, because I walked the path. Don't try and work it out. Don't you try and go and put the past into your future, but I've done this, let me try it again. No. It's now time. We're in a new world, a new vibration already, we are. So if you just surrender, everything becomes lighter. It becomes beautiful. And you will be surprised what you see is coming to you, because this is the time for us to be authentic about who we are. We are not the director of a company anymore. That's a title, that is a job description. But who are you as a person? That's what you need to find. And that's why Kainos talks about it. Kainos in the resurrection, Kainos in creation, Kainos in spiritual transformation. Stop letting other people pray for you. Don't go to churches where they touch your head and people fall over. That's not the energy that we need. The energy that we need is love, acceptance. It's God's love within us. And if that's in us, we are able to share it with other people. That is the spiritual transformation. It's the I am within. And then your life starts to follow a path. And just be aware of the negative thoughts that keeps on coming up in the mind, because they've been there for a long time. So they form their own patterns of behavior and thinking. So they will come up, but the less you feed them, the less they will come and visit until they just die down, they starve.
Exactly. And it's like following that spiritual path in the light, like stepping out into the light and letting the light guide us to where we need to be.
It's like illuminating the past, crafting your future. You know, it's like, instead of putting darkness on your past, put light on your past, past. Put light there. Just take from the past what is going to work for you. Leave the rest behind. We all go through that. And then you start to craft a new future. Who do you really want to be in your heart? What did you say you always wanted to be if money wasn't an issue? If your family is not pushing you to be somebody that you don't want to be? If your parents don't expect you to study and do something that is actually not you? What is that you want to do? Now's the time to do it.
So it's about finding that. And, you know, sometimes it can be hard because sometimes you don't know what you want. You don't know the path that you want to follow. And that's okay as well, because it's like, okay, let me go out into the world and let me have a look at what is out there, what is drawing my interest, what path do I need to follow? Because I could be a pilot and I want to be a pole dancer, you know what I mean? So, and then you end up being a checkout person at the tills. So it's about finding the right path for you, something that's going to embrace you, allow your spirit and your energy to transcend and to have a positive effect in the world.
Yes, so that you can be you.
Yes.
We are not who we've been, a conditioned person up to now, where we are now awakening. The conditioned person is a person who's been born into a family, who's already got generational beliefs that they pass on to the next generation. So not all those beliefs are necessarily working for the times we're living in now, or for the situations we've got, or the circumstances. So you don't want to bring their past into your future and be stuck in that. And that's what I often see happens, because parents tend to do that. And then you go to school, you go to church, you've got friends, and they all play a role in who you think you are, how you see yourself. If somebody criticized you as a child, so somebody said to you as a child, you fat, that hurt your self-esteem. Now it actually hurt your confidence levels. It hurt the way you see yourself. It hurt the way you eat. It hurt the way you dress. It hurt the way that you form relationships, because now that formed a root in your belief system. I'm fat, I'm not worthy, people are not going to like me, and all these stories about that one root that somebody said to you at a very sensitive age. That must go.
As a youngster, it does. It affects a person quite traumatically.
Yes, and I find a lot of my clients that I spoke to in the past, most of their hassles that was holding them back came from the first 9 years of their lives, is what they experience as children and what they've been told they are. And I can use an example of my own. You know, I grew up in a domestic violent home. But my dad was the alcoholic, my mom was always angry. So my mom told me on a basic daily basis that I'm stupid. My sister's the clever one, I'm stupid. And for all the years, I believed it. It ate away at my confidence levels. And although at school the teacher said to me, I'm brilliant, I'm doing so well, I could not see it. That insult every day that I heard put a blindfold over my eyes. I couldn't see it, but it chipped away my confidence. I could hardly speak for myself. I was too scared to say something because I always sound stupid. And when I started to work, I didn't want to write letters or anything because I sound stupid. I can't write. So it didn't only affect me as being stupid. It affected everything about me, my speaking, my writing, how I interacted with people. I was too shy to speak out or to even say anything in case I sound stupid. It was a big story in my life. And then I got a job at Xerox in sales. And I had to look at myself and say, you better get over this. And for the first month and a half, I had no sales, although I worked my butt off. And then luckily, one of my colleagues, he knew and he saw how I worked. And he said to me, Maddie, I'm going to spend 2 days with you. There's just something we need to tweak in you. And you will be fine because you put all the work in. And he came out in the field with me and I made appointments and he went with me. And he showed me how to close the deals because of my confidence. I was good in speaking. I built confidence to make the contact, to speak to the clients. But then I couldn't close the deal because I had no confidence there. And then he showed me that and he tweaked that. And you know, Priscilla, from that day, I never looked back. So that is a good example of my own life, how childhood can damage us for life. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. So just think of anything else that you've been told as a child and how it actually affected your outcomes later in life.
Exactly. So for this week's sort of episode, we're looking at what tools do they need to then implement going forward now. So what do they need to look at going forward?
What you need to look at is your self-talk, number one. We talk to ourselves all the time, but it becomes so natural that we don't realize it. So first of all, what are you saying to yourself when you wake up this morning? Are you saying to yourself, if you're working for yourself, I want a new deal today before 4 o'clock. I'm going to sign up a client. I'm going to do this. I'm going to speak to 5 people. When you're in a career, what is that one thing today that you can do that let you rise above the rest and be noticed in your team, in your group, in your company? So instead of being mediocre, instead of just being in a job, what can you do in your job that will make you rise above the rest? You know why? Because when you have a new vision, it takes you out of the old mindset. So now you're going to come up and the minute you have that vision, the old pattern's going to step in. It's going to say, you don't have money to advertise, or they're not going to see and notice you. No, maybe the manager won't be happy. There's going to be criticism that's going to come up that you've never noticed before because it's been there so long. When that criticism comes up, I want you to do the opposite. When a criticism says the manager is not going to notice the good work that you do, then you say, it's fine, I do it for myself. I'm going to do it anyway.
I'll notice it.
Yeah. So that's how you start. You start to notice your negative thoughts, but you're not going to notice it until you set a new vision, because now you trigger those thoughts because they are not aligned. Your imprints is not aligned with a new vision. So now they're coming up and they're going to say, no, you can't do this. You know, I had a couple of these over the last months. We had a couple of challenges. And then these old beliefs came up, but you don't have this, you can't do that. Nobody's going to look here, nobody. Until I said, I've got nothing to lose by doing it. Yeah. And then my whole world changed. So you have to challenge those thoughts, but don't fight them. Change them. Alchemize them. So you've been ruling my life for far too long. I am going to try the other way. And I want to rise above my circumstances now. So I've got nothing to lose. Push it through. And before you know it, those thoughts don't come up anymore, because what we feed, we create.
Yep, completely.
But it's just a battle in the beginning because your mind is not used to this new attitude. It's not used to you taking charge and taking action and control your thoughts. Your mind is used to controlling you because that's a subconscious mind. So you have to snap out of your past and you need to build, and that starts to build a new personality for you, the one that you truly are. Where you can, the next step from here, which we will talk about next week, is then you step into your purpose. But you cannot activate your purpose if your mindset is still aligned with the past.
Exactly. It's so important because we need to be able to step out of that. And when we find our purpose, we're heading towards it. But there's this little bungee cord that keeps on pulling us back into the past. With all that, you said, all that criticism talk and all that self-doubt and self-belief and self-worth issues, things like that. And then we have to get rid of them in order for us to be able to easily step out into the light and walk the path towards our purpose. So that's going to be our journey next week. Is like, okay, so now we've removed the bindings, we've removed the cords.
Strongholds,
we're now starting to walk towards our purpose. How is that going to look for us? So I know we always say that we've got to keep our conversations.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Keep our conversations short and sweet and to the point. And I can't believe it's been over 20 minutes already. So I wanted to just say thank you to Maddie for joining me again in this amazing The Grand Awakening series. And next week's vision and process is going to be all about the purpose and stepping into the purpose. Can you just give me a little brief thing about what can we expect for next week?
So this week we work on the root chakra, which are the roots, which are our beliefs. So if we take note of our beliefs and we start to alchemize the negativity into a positivity, and we start to build towards the new vision, which is the new creation of us. So then when you create the new vision, you already set the tone in your mind and in your beliefs to support that new vision that's stepping into your purpose. And then next week, I will guide you towards a little exercise, how to identify your purpose. But if your mindset is not right, it's not going to support the new vision. You're still going to pull back on the old self-esteem of I can't, I'm not loved, I'm not good enough, I'm this and I'm that and I'm not that. So we want to get rid of all of that. You are a clean vessel. You lay that cross down. So now you start to build the person that you want to become, the beautiful creation that God created perfectly, and mankind stuffed it up along the line. So what we've done up to now is at least that we can use as wisdom. Because if we didn't experience the experiences we had in the past, and that's what I want to say, don't judge yourself harshly at all. We all go through experiences. We all make mistakes in our own eyes. They're not mistakes. They are there to teach us wisdom, because how else are we going to learn skills and wisdom and knowledge? When you read the Bible, what is the one thing that the most important thing that leads to abundance? Not money, wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, you can never have health. You can never have abundance in your life. Wisdom. So our lives are teaching us wisdom. So all the pain you had in the past, stop looking at it as pain and start looking at it as what did I learn from it?
Thank you. So I wanted to say thank you very much for Maddie for joining us again. And I look forward to the next installment on our journey to the Grand Awakening. And it's been my absolute pleasure, as always, to have you here and to share your wisdom with us. It always empowers me as well. So I get to learn along the way as well, which is great. Because we can never learn too much. We teach best what we need to learn. And I think sometimes we need to hear it from somebody else. And we were just talking about synchronicities and how things are keep on repeating itself and duplicating and, hearing it in more than one place at a time. So look out for all those synchronicities as well. So I would like to say thank you very much, Maddie, for joining us. And we'll see you same place, same time next week as we delve deeper into the Grand Awakening. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Priscilla. See you next week. Great.